So this one, you will set up your machine with a single needle. Your walking foot, anytime that we're sewing knits on this Bernina machine, you need to have your walking foot on there. So walking foot, one single needle with basic thread, regular machine thread. The block that we're using for this one is the stretch stitch seam. So this is the only one that we're using this particular block for it. So it has that stretch stitch title on there. You will need 2 of them. And this one is a stable knit fabric. And we'll place them right sides together and go ahead and pin along that seam. And then you'll also notice on this block that there is instead of a 1/4 inch seam allowance on the edge, there's a 3/8 inch seam allowance on the edge. So because this is a stretch stitch on our Bernina machine, this is basically if you didn't have a serger to stitch your main seams with, this would be your backup. It doesn't stretch nearly as much as a serge does, so you can really only use it for stable knit fabric that have minimal stretch. If you tried to use this for a higher stretch fabric, the threads would bust. So we're going to give it a little bit more seam allowance so that the edge of our fabric, if it's rolling up or anything like that, we've got enough fabric to actually stitch onto. And then also to bust open, because this one will be treated a lot more like a regular woven seam. So we're going to stitch this at 3/8 on this machine. So I'm going to place it at that 3/8 inch. I'm going to start further down from the edge so I don't get sucked in, hopefully. And then I can back stitch to the edge and then go forward. There we go. Then I'll pull that off. So your seam should be like a zigzag. That's a slanted zigzag is what it's going to look like. It should have a little bit of stretch to it. So not significant stretch, but it will have a little bit of give. And you should have a back stitch at either end of that seam. So to finish this sample, I'm just going to take it to the iron, bust open my seam, and making sure to use a pressed cloth so that I don't get that shine on my fabric or ruin my fabric, but bust it open, and that's how I'll turn it in for the notebook.